Hello, Muak, and really sorry, I still do not know your name. Yeah, so hopefully after this week, we'll be more free to really work on this. Right, and also Faith, please do have a look at this so that you can assist. All right. Okay, so right now, how our this oh no shuts. I shouldn't have closed. Okay. How do our castle actually works? Okay, so round one, okay, like I already shared in the previous video. So round one, okay, so we'll be focused on reading a background. Okay, so reading a background as well as a clue card one, two, three. So one, two, three should focus on explaining what uh, should help everyone piece out how the background of everyone works. So round two, okay, we give a private session. Okay, private discussion time. All right, and then round three. Okay, the original plan is that everybody is going to start reading the timeline. Okay, so once they finish reading a timeline, okay, so this is the timeline, and then we are going to have a whiteboard. Okay, we are on the whiteboard on the wall. Everyone is going to share what they see. Okay, so maybe what happens is, of course, we have some techniques to make it less interesting. For example, someone could share, hey, at 8:30, okay, they see Kitchener begging. Okay, and then at 10, okay, this is another important timeline. Okay, KT, someone saw KT being admitted the magical power. So these are all very, very important timeline. Okay, so there are a few very, very important timeline that we have a way in which to allow most teams to share most of the things. But of course, not all teams is going to share everything, but most of the things. All right, so this is still okay. So that means we piece up the timeline. Okay, and then round four, we are going to give clue cards for five, six of every character. That makes it more so after they give up 4, 5, 6, okay, they find out a lot of secrets, like who could be ontology. So a lot of things has to be linked up together in this round. Okay, so this is all very okay, not so bad. Okay, but what happens is I'm thinking that round three and round four could be improved by a lot because right now we know we just ask them to say out the timeline and then write down the timeline. Okay, so I have another idea to see how you can actually assist with it. All right, so what happens is, okay, so now let's just say there are 8 players. Okay, so right now, just to share that, the game can be played with seven. So the moderator can play as Captain Jack, and maybe even six. Okay, so the moderator can play as okay, the moderator can actually play as we can remove Jack, okay, and then moderator play another character, but it's not going to be good. Okay, so what happens is I'm thinking of round three and round four to be a little bit different. Right, so there's a few things in which I think this change can actually achieve. All right, so what happens is, of course, the main objective is the players to have fun. So right now, when everyone just say out their things and form a picture, it might not be as fun. Okay, this okay. Okay, like I mentioned, this game is actually very popular. So it can be very good. So but the thing is I think we could do it even better. All right, we could do it even better. So what happens is so how of things. So let's just say, okay, now the players instead of being given a fixed timeline, like they are going to read a timeline. And one thing is, so much things to read, people gets a bit bored. So if we are going to give them a timeline, this is what your timeline, and you just share what you guys. It might not be as interesting as say, okay, the players made the timeline. So everyone could be different. Okay, that is all right. Okay, so every time we play this game, okay, different teams could make the this timeline differently. Okay, that is totally okay. All right. So what I am actually thinking is, no, let's just say they are really feeling that they are in an adventure. Okay, they are totally okay, they are in an adventure, they are really discovering something, they are finding out something, then that could be making the whole game a lot more interesting. All right, so no, like they are really have the adventure kind of feeling. All right, so take for instance, okay, now everyone has an objective. All right, so although I'm proposing some changes, but how the timeline works, I would not really want to change much because again, the timeline is actually done from 5 years of work, and it's tried and tested as very good. So if we are going to make even a few modification, it could break a lot of these kind of things. All right. So I'm hoping that how most of the timeline we can actually remain, and especially how the murder could be executed, we want it to remain as well. Okay. So okay, of course things can be changed. If there are better suggestions, that definitely. If it's obviously, once you see that idea that you have shared, and we know immediately it can improve on the game, then yeah, so we should go about it. Okay, but everything it's here after 5 years for a purpose. Okay, so what I am thinking is, no, there are 8 players, and right in between everyone, we give the castle map. Okay, so like shared, we want to change the map of the castle, okay, to make the things much more clear. All right, so but for now, yeah, please feel free to make your suggestion. Okay, I should be very free, much more free. Okay, very soon. All right. The players made this timeline. Okay, so we wanted the players. So what I am thinking. Okay, so you may want to have a look at this. Okay. Um, let's just say, there are a few things that they can solve. Okay, so like sometimes when you solve something, okay, and then you go ahead and do it. Okay, let's say you solve that. Okay, so for example, Lawrence. Okay, now one of his objective is to find out how to open up the shrine. Okay, so we want the shrine to be so mysterious that nobody knows much. All right, so we don't want them to go about it. So let's say for Lawrence, okay, he wants to know the secret of ontology, right? So what happens if he can find the secrets somewhere? Okay, so for instance, let's just say, okay, we change a little bit that Kitchener actually knows the passcode to the shrine. Okay, so he can get all the powers for himself to save himself. All right, so let's just say Lawrence knows about it. Um, okay, so maybe from Kitchener. So what he wants is to be able to maybe goes to Kitchener's room. Okay, that is over here. Okay, and maybe once he goes to Kitchener's room, he initially he might not find something, but if he is strong, he could eventually find the passcode, right? So the thing is that okay, now let's just say for Lawrence. Okay, so of course we have to give him some hints that we say that the passcode is somewhere inside. Okay, maybe someone from ontology who may know it. Okay, so maybe we can instead of such a long script, okay, maybe we can just give a few clues of his objective. Okay, so like the things could be found in the Kitchener in one of the ontology staff room. Okay, so he wants to find out who else is ontology. Okay, so let's just say he do not know that Kitchener is still in ontology. Maybe he since he's a spy, okay, he may not want to know about it. So let's just say along the way, okay, so someone actually found out that Kitchener is ontology. Okay, let's say this person found out that Kitchener is ontology. Okay, now one important thing, Mowak, okay, is that we want people to share things. All right, so how murder mystery works is that everybody will know only a little bit, but they need to come together to share so that they can pinpoint the murderer. So we want to make people to share as much. So if a few people hides their things or their knowledge, this game will not be fun because people are just randomly guessing things. They will not be able to guess. If you don't no, it's fun only when people really understand what is going on and they solve it. Okay, if they really know what is going on and they solve it, and they have a very intelligent guess, even if it's wrong or right, they enjoy it. All right, so we want people to share. All right, so now let's just say this person, okay, he found that Kitchener is from ontology. Okay, so Lawrence knows about it, so he can say, hey, maybe let me go to Kitchener's place to have a Kitchener's room to have a look. All right, so maybe over here, um, okay, so he need no, so now he has an objective to go to Kitchener's room. All right. So at first he only knows that someone from ontology may know it, okay, or maybe Katie or something. So it is okay if this one has actually some misleading. Okay, we can allow them to think and make good decisions. So we want them to think and make good decisions. So now let's just say in a clue he figure out that the person in ontology could knows about the password, so he could go focus on this Kitchener's room. Okay, so maybe he tried to go Kitchener's room, but there is a problem. Okay, like he doesn't have the key. All right, so maybe he needs to maybe somewhere. Okay, people they realize that they must go over here to get the key. So he gets the key, he's able to open, and more things starts to appear. All right, or it depends on how we do it. So we can have maybe once you open, everybody can go and look for clues or something like that from the room. You see, so it becomes a adventure, okay, a planning, a thinking. So maybe this could works better. All right, so what I am thinking of right now, okay, is to have a few rounds on how people can move. So we just name the rounds, okay, so 7 p.m. round, 8 p.m. round, 9 p.m. round, 10 p.m. round, okay, 11 p.m. rounds, 12 p.m. round. Okay, so what time the rounds goes, it's all up to you. Okay, so I have no idea how it will work. So I'm counting on you to see if you are able to help to create this part. Okay, so let's just say, okay, I'm thinking like everyone, okay, is so of course they have a paper on what they want, what some of the clues on how they can achieve their objective. Okay, so I'm thinking of everyone is able to get a few cards. Okay, everyone is able to get a few cards. So some of the cards is that they have to do at certain time. Okay, and okay, so so the cards can include, okay, so maybe what they do in a certain time. So right now, let's just say Kitchener. Okay, so Kitchener. Okay, so Kitchener, what happens is okay, so Kitchener. So what happens is maybe okay. So at 8 p.m. Okay, he has to be in his kitchen. Okay, we don't need all 6 cards to contain what he needs to do. So maybe a few. Okay, so maybe 8 o'clock he needs to be in his kitchen. So maybe Kitchener, yeah. So okay, maybe 7 p.m. Okay, he's also in his kitchen. So which means right at 7 p.m. he needs to produce this card. At 8 p.m. he needs to produce this card. Okay, so now let's just say right now it is 8 p.m. All right, so he needs to be in his kitchen. So we have a token. Okay, maybe this is the kitchen. Okay, so Kitchener's token will be here. So everybody will see that, hey, Kitchener's token will be here. All right, so let's just say, okay, another person, let's say Brad, okay, he has a card called follow someone. Okay, so he can say, okay, I would like to follow maybe Kitchener. Okay, so right now because he choose Kitchener, okay, and then okay, because he choose Kitchener, so everybody at is going to review together. Okay, so at 8 p.m. Okay, so Kitchener will be here. Okay, so if at this moment, right, someone actually says I want to follow Kitchener, or that someone actually choose to go over here, okay, then okay, so they are here, so they are going to get a time card. Okay, 8 p.m. Kitchen. Okay, so 8 p.m. Kitchen. So it's going to write, okay, so Kitchener is seen begging Clementine. All right, so you see how it works. Okay, so now let's just say at 7 p.m. Okay, so if they go to kitchen, kitchen could be blocking the way. So, this blocking is actually a good clue as well. So to show that, he's very fishy about something. Okay, so maybe, if anybody says, okay, maybe this person has a card called storage room. Okay, so maybe if he goes at 7 p.m., since Kitchener is guarding the place, okay, he will not get any clues relating to that. Okay, so at 8 p.m., okay, so maybe we can say that Kitchener can no longer guard his place, so he needs to go somewhere. Yeah, so this give a clue that, Kitchener is guarding something, but now he has to go. So, you can actually go inside and look for clues. Or maybe more people can go inside to look for clues. See, so maybe from here, you realize that, there is actually a necklace that Kitchener used to wear. Okay, so maybe we can ask Emna, the image that Kitchener used to wear, maybe we can have a photo frame on it to show that, hey, the people actually found this clue on the kitchen. So yeah, so I'm thinking of if we can combine 3 and 4 together. So some will show, if they are at the right place at the right time. Okay, so it's going to show what's the show a few timeline, and also if at other time, okay, it could show the image. All right, so you can see, Kitchener at 8 p.m. or 8:15. Okay, Kitchener is actually on his knees begging Clementine. So I think this is, this kind of clue is a must. Okay, so we want at least 90% of the game where teams is going to get this timeline card. Okay, this important events card. All right, so we definitely want it to be very, very obvious. Okay, so why is that so? Yeah, so again, we want them to have a good idea. All right, so you can see all these things that happen. So a few things could also happen. Um, yeah, okay, so maybe, we can have a few puzzles. Okay, so what is the passcode? Okay, so maybe we can have a few puzzles like maybe the Baron's safe, or maybe this person's very secret safe. Okay, so you need the passcode to enter. So if you have the passcode, okay, and they'll just tell the moderator, the facilitator in the game, hey, I got a passcode. And if it is correct, maybe they can open up something to get more clues as well. All right, so would like all the clues to be there, and also, this kind of thing. So, no, like maybe a few hours, a few people must be there. Okay, so a few cards, like you can have follow someone or go to, okay, this room. Okay, so maybe some of the room we can have a lock icon, unlock icon first. That kind of thing. So you can go to this room. Maybe one of the clue cards says you can choose to go to a particular room, or choose to choose any rooms that you want. All right, so I'm thinking like, maybe when you go somewhere, we spend time to go somewhere, you might be able to get a few important things. Okay, like maybe you can get some clues, maybe you can get keys. All right, so maybe, you want to get to this person's key, you need to go to somewhere else first to get the keys. All right, then you can go to that place. So yeah, so we want most of the things to be reviewed. All right, so you have to think carefully, where are So how many cards, everybody is going to get at first, what kind of cards. So after they use up a card, how many clues we want per items. All right, so maybe, like, let's just say bread's room. Okay, so maybe there can be two clue cards relating to bread. Okay, so the rest are all timeline. So if they go in at a certain time, they are able to see something. Okay, and some of the story, like for example, Angelina. Okay, so I want to keep things like, okay, she actually goes to the kitchen, gets the vodka, okay, and put it at Brett's room, okay, and give Brett. So we need Brett to be at the room at a certain time, Angelina to do certain thing at a certain time, and again, we need to do it in a way where 90% of the teams is going to see her getting the vodka, getting dropped. Okay, so we need to be in maybe somewhere whereby people is going to have the clue, okay, have the idea that they need to go to this place at this moment. Okay, so or maybe like for example, Angelina's supposed to do this. Okay, so we can actually give Kitchener, or maybe somewhere. Okay, maybe like now this is 9 p.m. So the moderator can pass Kitchener a card saying, it's at 8 p.m. Angelina step into your room, she never see you, okay, but she takes a bottle of vodka and maybe she seems to be doing something fishy. All right, so like the Kitchener right now, okay, could maybe had given a clue, so he is able to say openly, okay, that hey, Angelina seems to be inside my kitchen. All right, so someone may want to go to the kitchen now to see what Angelina is up to. I don't know what if this will work or not. All right, so we need a little bit of your proposal. So, but some of the things we definitely want people to share. At least 90% of the teams is going to be able to share many of the important timelines. Okay, so we want it to be a little bit more adventure. Okay, so like they want to. I want them to figure out things. Okay, who to follow, where to go, where is it? Okay, who could have done this? Some of the things they want to ask themselves, who could have done it? All right, so maybe someone actually saw a pie. Okay, so yeah, they can ask for teamwork. So someone actually saw a pie on the Clementine's room. Okay, so maybe different hour and each of the room could have something. Okay, so maybe we can ask, hey, there's something going on in this room. Maybe one of you would like to sacrifice your timeline. Okay, so like for example, 9 p.m. Okay, 10 p.m. Okay, so maybe someone knows that important thing is going on in Clementine's room. Okay, so you want to direct someone to so you can share since you know something is going on. Okay, now I see when I go inside, I saw a pie and a bottle of vodka. No, okay, maybe someone saw it. Okay, so like okay, so you see Kitchener's distributing pie at 8 p.m. Okay, then maybe a little bit later. Okay, so we can see how um okay, I'm really really sleepy now. Okay, so hopefully you can get the idea. They could have figured out. Okay, so maybe someone saw a pie at this hour in Kitchener's room. Okay, so maybe we can have a pie and vodka from sometime. Okay, so right now, okay, so maybe at 9 p.m. Okay, onwards, okay, you will see a pie in Clementine's room if they go to that Clementine's room after 9 p.m. Okay, so we can have some of the clue as when you go over, okay, the clue will be opened up and some of the clues will be given to the actors to read on their own, or if they want to share, it's up to them. But we, of course, we want to make it in such a way where more people share. Okay, so maybe at 9 p.m., if you are going to Clementine's room, you will see a pie and a vodka. All right, so maybe you want to find out. So the next thing is that the players could think, hey, now, who could have made the pie? Right, so the first obvious thing is to visit the kitchen. So if they are going to visit the kitchen after 9 p.m., they would have seen, okay, maybe a pie that is have a strange marking. Okay, so the rest have two. The rest have two. There's one pie with strange marking. Okay, and then this one also has strange marking. So if that's the case, right, we need to make it that the kitchener is actually unhappy with two people. Okay, so maybe one with Lawrence and one with this Clementine, something like that. Okay, so it makes sense. So he has actually finished distributing the pie for Clementine. Okay, so maybe and he intend to have this pie to Lawrence. So which means, right, at 11 p.m. if you go to Lawrence's room, okay, you would have seen this pie. Okay, so that means, right, everybody will have six objectives to move things around. So with 8 players, you can see that we have about 40 plus clues. Okay, so you have to see how you go about it. All right, so yeah, so maybe we can have an adventure as well. Okay, so maybe they can have an adventure like where is the keys? Okay, that kind of adventure. So maybe clues are given everywhere. Okay, so maybe in some of the scripts, maybe in some of the timeline or some of the clue cards. Okay, so maybe if they go to kitcheners, maybe kitchen somewhere, because he's always doing shabby things, he would have all the keys to all the room. Okay, so maybe we can give a few clues to pinpoint that there are a set of keys here. So once they have the keys, they can open up more places. The kind of thing, some puzzles, some things to solve. All right, really sleepy for me now. It's you can see it's 12:45. All right, so see what you can do. Okay, how you can propose. Okay, and I hope to be really with you very soon. All right, thank you, both Anna, Faith, and Mawak. All right.